Dear friends of the Iranian resistance for a democratic and free Iran. Dear friends, in this beautiful hall here in Rome at EUR, so many reminiscent of so many fights, so many engagement for winning in gaining our freedom and the freedom of our people. Dear Madame Rajavi, President Rajavi, distinguished authorities, dear friends of the Iranian resistance, and especially dear friends of the Iranian resistance who are with us only not in presence but online. They are seeing us and talking with us and feeling with us from Ashraf, the great people of Ashraf who are here with us tonight to celebrate and to renew their engagement for all our common commitment to freedom. We see themselves online, and a big greeting and wish to them for continuing their extraordinary activity and their extraordinary engagement in support of Madame Rajavi and the National Council of Resistance of Iran and the Mujahedin, the free Mujahedin of the Iranian people. It is indeed a great honor to be here with you today. This is the most beautiful image that we could have dreamt of. From Ashraf to Rome, a commonality, a community of people who have the same values and the same commitment. Your people sadly know the unbearable and unacceptable burden of living according to the dictates of the Ayatollahs and to their blood-stained laws. Let's recall what is and what means the Islamic Republic of Iran since its foundation in 1979. It is a terrorist state that makes use of the death penalty to repress all forms of dissent. A terrorist state in all the actions that promotes around the world and against its own people. My thoughts today turn to the terrible summer of 1988, and you have seen the images of the heroes outside this hall coming here to this building. Young people between their early teenagers and early 20s who have been given their life and they have sacrificed their life for a higher value of freedom. 1988 has been one of the darkest chapters in Iran history and probably one of the darkest in humanity history, when at least 30,000 MEC PMOI were executed in a single month. What happened that year has remained unpunished. It is high time for justice, finally. The regime violence against its own people is endless. There were 75 executions in 2024. In this first half of the year 2025, almost 600 executions. We are horrified by the recent hanging of two prominent Mujahideen, Behrouz Ehsani and Mehdi Hassani. This crime has been committed after 3 months of appeals and denunciations by an international community asking to avoid this new horror. But nothing was heard, nothing was important, for the mullahs. They decided to execute them anyway. Italy has been for over 30 years a pioneer, even a General Assembly of the United Nations, for the abolition of the death penalty worldwide. Today, Iran, with its regime, is a pariah state. It must be completely isolated and neutralized. Your presence today is the most eloquent demonstration that another Iran is not only possible, but also near to fulfill its promises, near as never before. Now it is time for courage. The Iranian regime has spread terrorism all over the world. I think of my great friend, Alejo Villas-Quadras, former Vice President of the European Parliament, who survived the terrible terrorist attack commissioned by Tehran only 2 years ago. I also think about the Iranian terrorist diplomat Assadollah Assadi, who was convicted and sentenced for having planned a huge bomb attack in Villepinte against the NCRI annual convention in June 2018. Because of the Ayatollahs, the Iranian society is living through a never-ending nightmare. The morality police is specialized in beatings, tortures, hangings, and persecutions against anybody even falsely labeled as Muharib. The IRGC and similar apparatuses are pushed by a creed of death and violence. And faced with all this, the Western countries and institutions, starting with European ones, should not only raise their voices, they must decisively enhance policies through the firmest political, economic and security measures. It is a moral duty, even more than a political duty. It is time for deterrence, for containment and for prevention. Recent events have made clear that the survival of the regime is connected to the continuation of the forbidden nuclear program, a program that the resistance led by Madame Rajavi disclosed to the entire world and denounced at the highest international fora more than 20 years ago, and even after that, many times. Thank you, Madame Rajavi, for your constant efforts in that direction by the Iranian democratic resistance. It is the resistance that contributed to show how much the IRGC is connected to the forbidden nuclear program in Fordo, in Natanz, and in Isfahan. The inclusion of the IRGC on the list of international terrorist organizations cannot be postponed, and that is a common endeavor for the European countries. It must happen. They must be banished from the international community, from every kind of business with Iran. And that is because there is a clear alternative to the mullahs, and it is here, this alternative. It is with you. It is in your motto, Madame Rajavi, and we fully agree with it. And your motto is, neither with the Shah nor with the mullahs. The third option is the only possible one. The third option, and again quote Madame Rajavi, this means no foreign war, no religious dictatorship, and no appeasement. Change must come from the Iranian people and the resistance. You are not asking for money or weapons to bring down this regime. You are simply asking that no one stands with the regime. It was an honor yesterday at the Chamber of Deputies to present you with the declaration signed by the majority of the members of the Italian Parliament supporting your cause, as done by other 4,000 lawmakers across 50 countries in the world. An impressive demonstration of the unwavering support of Iranian democratic resistance, a global call for freedom. Once again, Madame Rajavi, welcome to Rome, to you and to all your marvelous people. God bless you.